week, we're going to take a look at using inline CSS in an email newsletter. Of course, you're going to try to create your email newsletter in a simple table. The design, however, keep in mind that email newsletter can only use web-safe fonts. In general, you would use Arial, Times Roman, Georgia, or Verdana. So a small page width and the inverted pyramid. Above is an email newsletter I recently did for an open house. The size of this email newsletter is only 600 pixels wide. That is the standard for email newsletters. Email clients have very limited capabilities. You format your email newsletter in one table. You cannot use background images within that table. That means that the graphics and fancy fonts are contained in an image, which I've placed into the table. The heart of an email newsletter is a call to action. Content is placed in an inverted pyramid. Each element leads the reader to the call for action. Here the call for action is register now. Here is a screen grab of that text. You can see the image is in a TD tag if you take a look. I'm going to show this highlighted to you on the next slide. See, there's the image and it's inside the TD, part of the table cell, and that's the way it should be. I included my fonts in that. So, of course, if you need help about how to do this, W3 Schools has a great section on inline CSS that you can use for reference. Code hint for inline CSS work in Dreamweaver also. So as long as you start doing it in inline and you hit that colon, it starts popping up what's available for you to use. Here's an example of some inline CSS that comes from W3. You can see how the syntax works. So it's style equals, and then your properties and selectors go in quotes. Notice that it also has the colon and the semicolon. That is part of the syntax you would use in CSS. A call to action. I used a graphic or a button that says register now. If you look at the code, you will notice that this hyperlinks to a page within the website. This is part of the best practices of making an email newsletter. And once again, in general, email newsletters should do the following. Grab the viewer's attention with a bold headline and graphic. Add content that feels some anticipation about the topic. And lastly, contain a clickable call to action. This may be a call to buy something or just to collect data about users. If you think about this, you see this all the time within emails that you get and in landing pages. And I've given you a little reference there to a website that explains this in more detail. This should get you started for your assignment.